take over a planet, okay, if you want to completely take over a planet, the first thing that you have to do is you have to take out the alpha males or the strong males from the planet. Because the strong alpha males protect the divine feminine. So, there has been a concerted effort, which is now increasing and increasing and increasing, to emasculate to emasculate the strong men on the planet. A prime example would be Jenner. What's his first name? The athlete Jenner. Bruce Jenner. They wanted to, in your face, show you how they could take an Olympic athlete and turn him into a woman, so that they could show you, look how powerful we are. And you can see through television and films how they are feminizing men more and more and more. You'll see men dressed up in female clothes, or men dressed up in dresses, or in perhaps in sitcoms or in television TV shows. You'll see the male more and more emasculated, and the female playing the dominant role. This is not to empower the female in any way. This is a trick to make it look like that it's empowering the female, when in fact it is taking away the protection from the female. The feminism movement that happened in the 60s was to destroy the family unit from the inside out. And I'm not saying in any way that a woman shouldn't be independent and do whatever. I'm saying there is an agenda behind what is going on. If you feminize the alpha males on the planet, the divine feminine won't have protection, and because the planet itself is female, and the female, the divine females are a reflection of the planet. If they are not protected by the alpha males on the planet, then the war is over, and then they win.
Seriously? Once your eyes are opened and you see this drag show that they have created for us, you look at Lady Gaga and Amy Winehouse, how even RuPaul's drag show doesn't use these big wigs and the, over the top drag show stuff that they put in front of us. They've done this to program us. Like I showed you in the last video with the transgender beauty pageants and model runways and stuff, that some of them they have made very almost indistinguishable on purpose to confuse us, because they exude energy, a masculine energy or a feminine energy. So we don't realize we are being programmed. Our sexual attractions have been programmed because they present a body that gives us a stimulus, a physical stimulus, to have a sexual reaction to that. But then the souls are still there. This is still a male. So it confuses our senses because we are tuned into that transmorphic field. We are connected on a subconscious level. So while part of us is sensing that this is a male, part of us is being given a physical flesh stimuli to be attracted to it as a female. They literally programmed us for sexual deviance. So they don't make all of them dress up completely indistinguishable, as women. They purposefully parade things in front of us, like these big drag queen wigs on Lady Gaga and, say, Amy Winehouse. And like they did with Madonna with the really thick man eyebrows. And remember how Madonna didn't shave her armpits. And then some of them, they keep their male names to confuse our psyches, our subconscious, like Daryl Hannah, that we will still call her a man's name Daryl, even though on a conscious level, we're not making the connections, but on a subconscious level, they are programming sexual confusion. It's very literal MK Ultra to the masses. And you can see it's worked. It has worked. They've programmed our subconscious for generations now, and look how it has manifested in human society. And it really is amazing how the mind works, because once your mind is free, you look back and you're like, how did I ever miss that? You look at something like this And you're like, okay, I'm clearly looking at a man. Like I'm looking at a man. But when you're under their spell, you don't see that at all. I never saw it at all. Never even entered my mind because they said this is a woman. That's what they told me. But again, with the sigils and spells from the very beginning, her music videos and her couple of movies, she was always wearing these sigils. She was always wearing the Illuminati symbols. And like we've all begun to notice now, that even her halftime shows and her dance routines, they were all rituals. The same with Daryl Hannah. Even though I look at this now and all I see is just a man sitting there with long hair, a guy named Daryl, I just look at it and I think, how on earth could I have missed that? It's not really even a very convincing deception. But even after Daryl Hannah started having all the plastic surgeries, it's still not very convincing. But somehow I never questioned it, not once, never even entered my mind. I was completely blind to it. But now that the mystery has been dispelled, it's like looking at a bad episode of Bosom Buddies.
You've got the plan for the no gender human. So, how do you prepare people for the no gender human, especially the young who are going to be the adults when this is supposed to be coming in? Well, how about having drag queens going to schools with beards wearing dresses and totally and utterly confuse from the earliest age of little kids their perception of gender? How about you go not from 2 plus 2 equals 4 to 2 plus 2 equals 5, but to 2 plus 2 equals 4,650 million, which is what we're being asked to believe now in terms of reality. That somehow a man with a dick can just decide he's a woman and that's it. You have got to treat him as a woman. Or you've got to talk to a single individual in terms of them and they. I'm sorry, that is an assault on the English language. I will not have it, thank you. And if you don't like that, we'll do the other thing. That's just as good. What we're seeing is on the road to the fusion of gender, not the transgender activists, not the transgender human, the no gender human. You're just a stepping stone. Wake up. On the other side, you have to get rid of human 1.0. So what's happening now? You got to get rid of human 1.0. What is happening now is sperm counts are absolutely catastrophically plummeting. How they've fallen, not just in the West, but around the world in the last 50 years is shocking, unbelievable, to the point where if this goes on, there will be no procreation. They're doing it through chemicals. They're doing it through things like what is called BPA that you get in plastics and stuff. What the stuff they put into till receipts. Why do they put it in till receipts? Because everyone touches them. And also radiation. You see people, they put their laptops on their desk and they're working like that for ages. That's technologically generated radiation going straight into the sperm. What is the sperm ultimately? It's an electromagnetic field. Change the electromagnetic field, change the nature of the sperm. And then there's the smartphone in the pocket. Put it in the pocket, there you go. Right, so what's that doing to your sperm while that's pumping out that shite?